Super Rugby round 16, the dream team. I got the new Waratahs jersey on today, at least new for me. Much higher collar than I'm used to. It will take a bit of getting used to. Anyway, round 16, there were a lot of good games in that round. Man, the amount of guys I haven't included. Let me know in the comments because, yeah, I will probably have already been torn for a few moments about which one to pick. But I've narrowed it down to 15. So yeah, we'll get started. Props. I have gone with James Slipper from the Brumbies. Kind of for his scrummaging in this one, because you look at this, I mean, they play the Sunwolves. Their scrum is not the strongest scrum in the competition. He had 4 runs for 10 metres, so reasonably busy. Only 2 passes. 3 from 3 tackles is pretty low for him. He's usually a pretty busy guy around the park, but he didn't concede a single penalty. And his opposite tight head, the guy who was up against directly in the scrum, conceded 3 penalties. So a bit of domination there at scrum time, which led to some scoreboard pressure for the Brumbies. So good effort from James Slipper, who is doing really well now that he is down in Canberra. Next, from the Jaguares, I've gone with Lucio Sordoni. He had 2 runs for 10 metres, which is a very good return per run for a prop. He had 6 from 7 tackles, which again is a pretty decent rate of return for a prop. Decent number of tackles, getting up to that 10 region where he missed the one. But hey, he had a turnover, which good props seem to do these days. It seems to be the best of the best are able to get turnovers at the breakdown, add that pressure. He did concede the 1 penalty, but the other tight head for the Reds had 3. So I thought for a guy who's only 20 years old, up against a pretty powerful Reds pack, he held his own really well. So very encouraging for Argentinian rugby to have such a young guy coming through. He was impressive. Next, and I've gone with another Brumby. I had virtually no choice to go with Conal McInerney. The guy got a hat-trick, but wait till you hear these numbers. So he managed 3 tries despite only 1 run. I guess if you're at the back of a mall, that doesn't count as a run. So he had 1 run, 3 metres, 1 pass, 3 tries, 7 out of 8 tackles is not too bad for a guy who came off the bench. I very rarely pick bench players here, but he came off the bench and got 3 tries, which is a pretty rare occurrence. So, hey, it's beneficial to be at the back of that Brumbies maul. What can I say? But you still got to get the line out right and do the job. So good for him. Next, from the Bulls, despite the fact that it was a draw, I've gone with Archias Sneeman from the Bulls, obviously. 9 runs for 16 metres in those conditions was a very, very good effort. He also had a defender beaten, 5 passes, an offload, which was amazing stuff. It was wet. It led to a try assist. So he basically set that try up. 11 out of 12 tackles, 6 line-out wins, and a line-out steal. It's so disappointing the guy is not going to be around in Super Rugby next year, because he is really hitting top form and is one of the premier locks in the competition and will be vying for a Springboks place. So come the World Cup time, there's plenty to choose from in that regard. Other lock, despite the fact that he played 6 for about half the game, I've gone with Scott Barrett. He had 5 runs for 63 metres, which is a pretty good return. Probably about 40 of them in one go, which led to his try. He did have a defender beaten and a clean break, so the defender beaten and the clean break was probably part of the try. 2 passes, 11 tackles attempted. He managed 10 of them. Also managed 2 line-out wins. So how he fits into the World Cup plans for the All Blacks is going to be an interesting one. Is he the bench cover for kind of second and back row, or does he start? Either way, it's going to be an interesting one to watch. Next, I have gone with loose forwards. I've gone with Adi Savia. That guy is just having a season and a half, man. 9 runs, 41 metres just seems to be about the norm for him these days. For most guys, that would be pretty big numbers. 5 passes and an offload. Also 10 tackles and 2 turnovers. Some of those turnovers probably, he's only credited with 2, but it seems like he could have had more. So yeah, he's just putting in very big shifts for the Hurricanes. Also, I've gone with Quacka Smith, who is another guy having a very a very big season. Whether he is big enough physically to make the Springboks is something a lot of you guys and myself have kind of long questioned. I know he's played a little bit for the Springboks before. Is it 1 or 2 games? Whether he'll feature at the World Cup, well, he's certainly putting up his hand anyway. 5 runs, 12 meters, a clean break, 6 passes, 8 out of 8 tackles, 2 tries, 2 line-out wins, and even managed a kick. So, yeah, he had a pretty good game, didn't he? Last one, and man, I was getting a bit of a runny nose. It's weird. I was going to go for Sam Cane, but then I saw the numbers for Jaco Coetzee, and they are pretty mad. 12 runs, 101 meters, 4 defenders beaten, a clean break, 4 passes, 2 offloads, 13 out of 14 tackles. Man, that guy must have been everywhere in that game. I didn't watch that game in full, but those are pretty crazy stats. Like, Sam Cane had amazing defensive stats, tackles, turnovers, but he didn't have that much with the ball. But man, this guy had just a bit of everything. I mean, he did cough the ball up 3 times, which I guess is one negative factor, so I could have ruled him out. But with those attacking numbers, which I'm kind of in favor of, I guess I always lean towards the attacking numbers more. I could not go with him. Next, into the backs, scrum half, I've gone with Brad Weber. As I said in the review of that game, the commentators mentioned that he always seems to be just everywhere, and he really did in that game. He just seemed to be popping up. The stats probably don't do him justice, but 4 runs, 15 meters, 50 passes, an offload, 1 try, 7 from 7 tackles, 2 turnovers, a kick, even got a line-out win. It must have been a quick throw. Has to be in that All Black squad for 2019, surely. Has to be. Fly half, first 5, I've gone with another Barrett. I've gone with Bodie. And that Hurricanes performance against the Sharks. He had 8 runs, 25 meters. Not that great for him, I suppose. For most people, that's pretty decent. 2 defenders beaten, 18 passes, 3 offloads, 2 try assists, so kind of setting the play up rather than scoring himself this time. 3 from 6 tackles is pretty ordinary. He'd like to up those numbers. He had 17 kicks, so more kicking than we're probably used to seeing from him. Probably a good thing for the All Blacks going forward that he is kicking out of hand, because often the All Blacks don't make him do that much kicking. 3 conversions, 3 penalty goals, so he finished the game with 15 points, set up those 2 tries as well. So, yep, kind of a good performance from Bodie. Midfield, I've gone with Adam Ashley Cooper from the Waratahs. Again, his numbers probably don't do him that much justice. Like, he had 2 runs for 8 meters, which is not a whole heck of a lot, but he still managed to score a try in those 8 meters. And he also managed to have a try assist. He had an offload. He had 13 out of 14 tackles. So defensively very solid, which is kind of what we know him for. But he's scoring tries. He's setting up tries. He's stopping the opposition from playing. Is he going to be in the starting midfield at the World Cup at that age? We'll wait and see. Next, from the Lions, could have had him last week as well, Lionel Mapu. He seems to be coming into really good form, which is good news for the Springboks. 7 runs, 52 meters. He had a defender beaten. He had a clean break. Interestingly, Rugby Pass's stats, who I'm getting these from, don't credit him with a try assist, but he passed the ball to Skorsan, who scored, so I assumed it would be a try assist. I checked the ESPN. They do credit him with a try assist, so I'm going to go with a try assist there. He also had 5 passes, 2 offloads, and 3 from 4 tackles. But the guy just seemed to be tearing it up, much the same as last week. So good on him. And the back 3, I've gone with 2 fullbacks this week. So one of them is Samisi Masarewa from a losing Sunwolves team. That guy just seems to be able to turn on a bit of individual brilliance every week. 5 runs for 40 meters. 1 defender beaten, and 2 clean breaks. Now, interestingly, if you watch that game and those tries that he scored, or at least the first one, the one that he scored, he only scored 1, but it seemed like he beat more than 1 defender, and they've only credited him with 1 defender beaten on Rugby Pass. I'm wondering if this defender beating the rugby pass means you actually have to like slam a guy to the ground for it to count, because I would have thought if you kind of skin a guy and just palm him off without having to really beat him down, that still counts, because ESPN counts him as 9 defenders beaten, which seems more like the game I watched. I'll have to ask Rugby Pass about that. But yeah, either way, he had 8 passes, an offload, a try assist. He also managed a turnover, made 1 out of 2 tackles, so not asked to do much defensively. 50-50 is not ideal, but yeah, the try he scored was just a thing of beauty, and he set another one up. So bright side on a losing cause. Next, from the Chiefs, I've gone with Solomon Alamalo. He had 11 runs for 145 meters. Crazy. 3 defenders beaten. Sorry, 3 clean breaks, 2 defenders beaten. One of them was a sickening step on David Havili from the Crusaders. 7 passes, 3 offloads. Again, 1 out of 2 tackles is, as some of you guys pointed out, not going to get you into the All Blacks. You need to be more solid than that. But hey, he did concede 2 penalties, but overall really tore things up. And lastly, I've gone from the Jaguares. Santiago Carreras scored his first try in a Super Rugby game in this one, but he scored 2 overall. One of them was a fantastic intercept at the end to really put the nail in the coffin and give the Jaguares a good win. So he had 8 runs, 96 meters, beat a defender, 2 clean breaks. One of them was the intercept. 3 passes, an offload, 2 tries, 3 from 5 tackles, and a turnover. A lot of young depth coming through in that Argentinian Super Rugby team. So, yeah, those are my 15 guys. You guys let me know your thoughts, who I've missed. Sam Cane was definitely one of them. There are others, trust me. Crusaders guys also had a few. Other teams just generally had some as well. So, yeah, you guys let me know your thoughts, and I'm going to go get a tissue and blow my nose. All right, see you later. Bye.